Stop me if this sounds familiar. You wake up with a massive to-do list. You work all day. You collapse into bed exhausted. And yet, somehow, nothing important actually got done. Meanwhile, there's someone in your field who seems to accomplish more before lunch than you do all week. Same 24 hours, same challenges, completely different results. What if I told you the difference isn't talent, intelligence, or some genetic gift? It's a system, a specific sequence of plays that turns ordinary hours into extraordinary output. Stay with me for the next 18 minutes because I'm about to share the exact framework that lets high performers finish their entire day by 2 p.m. while producing better work than people grinding until midnight. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Once you see the system, you can't unsee it. You'll realize you've been playing the game wrong your entire life. Let's fix that right now. Section 1. The foundation. Before we dive into the tactics, you need to understand why most people fail at productivity. It's not because they're lazy. It's not because they lack ambition. It's because they're optimizing for the wrong metric entirely. Most people measure their day by hours worked. How long did I sit at my desk? How busy did I look? How exhausted am I? But high performers measure something completely different. Meaningful output per unit of peak cognitive energy. That's a mouthful, so let me simplify it. Your brain has approximately 3 to 4 hours of genuine peak performance every single day. That's it. After those hours, you're running on borrowed energy, caffeine, willpower, stress hormones. The person finishing by 2 p.m. isn't working less. They're weaponizing those peak hours with surgical precision while everyone else wastes them on emails, meetings, and scrolling. Here's what most productivity advice gets wrong. It treats all hours equally. Wake up at 5 a.m., work 12 hours, hustle harder, but your brain doesn't work that way. Your brain operates on natural energy cycles. For about 80% of people, peak cognitive performance happens between 2 to 4 hours after you wake up. This is your golden window. Your brain is fresh, your willpower tank is full, your ability to focus is at maximum capacity. What are most people doing during this window? Checking emails, scrolling social media, sitting in unnecessary meetings, warming up, easing into the day. That's like showing up to the gym with fresh legs and wasting them stretching for an hour, then trying to hit a personal record when you're already exhausted. The system I'm about to share is built around one core principle. Protect your peak hours like your life depends on it. Because it does. Everything else is just details. Section 2. The 3-task framework. Here's where everything changes. Stop trying to do everything. Start being ruthlessly selective. Every evening before bed, you identify exactly 3 tasks that would make tomorrow a massive win. Not 10 things, not a sprawling to-do list. 3 things. But here's the catch. They have to be the right 3 things, not busy work, not responding to other people's requests, not tasks that make you look productive. The 3 things that actually move the needle on what matters most in your life right now. For a student, that might be finish the research section of my thesis, solve 20 calculus problems, outline next week's presentation. For an entrepreneur, write the sales page, record the product demo, reach out to 5 potential clients. The specific tasks don't matter. What matters is clarity. When you wake up tomorrow, you know exactly what victory looks like. No thinking, no deciding, no checking what other people need from you first. Most people fail their day in the first hour because they're trying to do everything. With this method, you're declaring war on everything except 3 things. This sounds ridiculous, but it works better than any digital tracker I've ever used. Get 3 poker chips, or 3 coins, or 3 small stones. Put them on the left side of your desk. These represent your 3 most important tasks. Every time you complete one of your big 3, you move 1 chip to the right side. But here's the accountability mechanism. Every time you get distracted, check social media, browse random websites, do something off task, you move a chip back to the left. Why does this work when apps and digital trackers don't? Because it's physical, tangible, impossible to ignore. You can minimize a productivity app. You can't minimize a poker chip sitting on your desk, staring at you, asking, did you earn the right to waste time yet? There's something deeply satisfying about moving that final chip to the right side of your desk. It's a physical declaration. I won today. You know what the real productivity killer is? Not the work itself. It's a delay before starting. Every minute you don't start is a minute added to your finish time. The difference between finishing at 2 p.m. and finishing at 8 p.m. is usually just the accumulated delays before beginning each task. Here's the fix. Before any important task, ask yourself, if I only had 10 minutes, what's the minimum valuable piece I could complete? Then do that first. Not the whole project, just the smallest piece that would create value. Writing a report, the minimum viable piece is the outline. 3 main points in bullet form. Working out, the minimum viable piece is putting on your workout clothes. Studying for an exam, the minimum viable piece is opening your notes and reading the first page. This technique lowers the activation energy from, I need to do this huge overwhelming thing, to, I just need to do this one small thing. And here's what's wild. Once you start the small thing, momentum carries you forward. You don't stop at the outline. You keep writing. You don't stop at putting on workout clothes. You start exercising. The hardest part of any task isn't doing it, it's starting it. The activation question makes starting trivial, and once you start, you're already winning. Section 3, the triple block system. You've probably heard of the Pomodoro technique, 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. That works for simple tasks, but for deep, cognitively demanding work, the work that actually changes your life, you need something more powerful. Enter the Ultradian Sprint, 90 minutes of complete focus followed by 20 minutes of complete rest. This isn't arbitrary. Your body runs on ultradian rhythms, natural 90-minute cycles of high and low alertness. For 90 minutes, you can sustain genuine deep focus. After that, your brain naturally wants to rest. You can push through with caffeine and willpower, but you're just borrowing energy from your next session. You'll crash harder later. Here's the protocol. Pick one of your 3 tasks, set a 90-minute timer, remove every possible distraction, phone in another room, close all browser tabs except what you need, then work until the timer goes off. Even if you're in the middle of something, stop. Take your 20-minute break. Move your body. Get outside if possible. Do not check messages during this break. Then repeat for your next task. 3 90-minute blocks, and you've accomplished more than most people do in an entire week. This is how you achieve output that feels unfair to everyone else. Remember what I said about your peak cognitive hours? This is where we weaponize them. Your morning is sacred. The first 3 to 4 hours after you wake up are when your brain has maximum willpower and focus. So here's what you do. You immediately start working on your first task. No warm-up, no elaborate morning routine, no checking your phone or the news, just straight into the work that matters. Your brain is going to protest for the first 10 minutes. It'll scream, just check one thing first. Just ease into the day. You're not ready yet. Ignore it. Push through those 10 minutes and suddenly you drop into flow state. That's where you accomplish what others can't. For most people, this means waking up, maybe splashing water on your face, drinking some water, and sitting down to work within 30 minutes. I know this sounds extreme. I know it contradicts every morning routine video you've watched. But here's the truth. Elaborate morning routines are procrastination in disguise. You don't need to journal for 20 minutes, meditate for 15, do yoga for 30, and read for an hour before you're ready to work. You're ready right now. Your brain is freshest right now. Start now. Before I start each 90-minute block, I run through a 15-second checklist. This isn't optional. It's what ensures I drop into flow instead of just hoping it happens. Point 1, clear goal. What does done look like for this block? If I can't describe it in one sentence, my goal isn't clear enough. Not work on the report, that's vague. Instead, finish the introduction and outline section 2. Point 2, no distractions. Double check that my phone is in another room on Do Not Disturb. Close all unnecessary tabs. Point 3, challenge skill balance. This is the one most people miss. If the task feels too easy, I'm bored, so I tighten my deadline or raise the bar. If it feels overwhelming, I'm anxious. So I use the activation question to shrink the scope to something manageable. The key is staying in that sweet spot where you're stretched but not breaking. Point 4, commit to the full block. Don't bail early. Don't check out halfway through. Commit to the full 90 minutes, then take your break. Checking these 4 points makes flow state almost inevitable. That's where time disappears and your best work emerges. Most people experience flow once a month by accident. Using this checklist, you trigger it 3 times a day on purpose. Let's walk through what your morning actually looks like. You wake up. Within 30 minutes, you're sitting down for your first 90-minute block on task number 1. You run through your flow state checklist. Timer starts. For the next 90 minutes, nothing exists except this task. Your phone is in another room. Your email is closed. You're unreachable, you're in the zone. Timer goes off, you move your first poker chip to the right. Victory 1. You take your 20-minute break. You move your body, walk around, do some stretches, get outside if possible. You hydrate, you do not check your phone. Then you sit down for block 2. Task number 2. Another 90 minutes of complete focus. Timer goes off, move the second chip, another win, another 20-minute break. Same protocol. Block 3, your final task, 90 minutes, timer goes off, move the final chip to the right. You've just completed 4.5 hours of actual focus work. And you know what you've accomplished in those 4.5 hours? More than most people accomplish in an entire week. By the time you finish block 3, it's early afternoon. Your 3 most important tasks are complete. All your poker chips are on the right side of your desk. You've already won the day. Everything else is just bonus rounds. Section 4. The optimization plays. Parkinson's law states that work expands to fill the time available. Give yourself a week to write a report, it'll take a week. Give yourself 2 hours, it'll take 2 hours. And here's the shocking part. The quality won't be that different. So here's how you weaponize this. For every task, cut the time you think it'll take in half. Think something will take 4 hours? Give yourself 2. The time pressure forces you to focus and eliminate all the fluff. No perfecting, no overthinking, no polishing details that don't matter, just core work. And here's what's wild. When you give yourself less time, you often produce more efficient work because you don't have time for all the overthinking that usually makes things worse. Set aggressive timers, work fast, move on. Perfection is the enemy of done, and done beats perfect every single time. Your phone is stealing years of your life, literally years. The average person spends 4 hours a day on their phone. That's 1,160 hours per year. Over a lifetime, that's more than 11 years of your existence spent scrolling. Here's how you get 2 to 3 hours back per day. 4 settings. Do all 4 right now while you're thinking about it. 1. Keep your phone on. Do not disturb during focus blocks. Customize exceptions for truly important contact. Everything else can wait. 2. Use screen time or digital well-being to block social media and other distracting apps during your peak hours. This is the hardest one. It's also the most effective. 3. Turn off raise. To wake and tap to wake. This prevents accidental unlocks and mindless checking. You have to consciously choose to use your phone. 4. Enable grayscale mode. Your phone becomes boring without colors. Apps lose their visual appeal. You spend less time scrolling. These 4 settings can reduce your phone time by 50%. That's 2 to 3 hours back in your day. Hours you can use for your big 3 tasks. Hours that separate you from everyone else still scrolling their life away. Your workspace is either helping you dominate or destroying your focus. There's no in between. Here's what your workspace should look like. Clear desk with only what you need for the current task and your 3 poker chips. Noise canceling headphones on your head, even when you're not listening to anything, because it signals to your brain it's focus time and tells others you're unavailable. Phone goes in a drawer or another room with do not disturb on. Water bottle within arm's reach. Your brain is 75% water, and dehydration kills performance. Room temperature between 68 and 72 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a sweet spot for focus. Natural light when possible. Good lamp when it's not. That's it. Nothing fancy. You're just removing friction and killing distractions. High achievers don't rely on willpower alone. They design their space to make focus inevitable. Your brain runs on chemistry. You can optimize that chemistry with 3 simple levers. Lever 1, hydration. First thing when you wake up, drink about 16 ounces of water. Your brain is 75% water. Even mild dehydration kills cognitive performance. Lever 2, light. Get outside within 30 minutes of waking. Natural light sets your circadian rhythm, which affects everything from focus to sleep quality. Lever 3, caffeine timing. Wait 60 to 90 minutes after waking before having caffeine. Let your cortisol naturally peak first. Then caffeine works better and lasts longer. These aren't optional nice-to-haves. These are the biological foundations that make everything else possible. People will take as much of your time as you're willing to give. If you're always available, they'll always interrupt you. Here's how to set boundaries without being a jerk. First, communicate explicitly. I'm blocking my mornings for focused work. I'll be available after 2 p.m. Then enforce it by blocking your calendar and putting your phone on do not disturb. Second, Don't explain or justify. You don't need permission to protect your time. Someone wants to meet during your peak hours for non urgent things. I'm unavailable then. How about 3 p.m.? No explanation, no apology, just a clear boundary and an alternative. Third, be consistent. The first few weeks, people will test your boundaries. They'll ask for exceptions, they'll push back, hold firm. After a few weeks, they'll stop asking. Your boundaries are only as strong as your willingness to enforce them. Section 5, the maintenance system. Here's something counterintuitive. Schedule 5 minutes of pure nothing between your 90-minute blocks. No phone, no screens, no reading, no podcasts, just sitting or walking, doing literally nothing. This sounds like wasting time. That's exactly why it works. Your brain is overstimulated constantly. It needs boredom to reset. Most people finish one task and immediately jump to another or check their phone. That's not productivity. That's just anxiety with a to-do list. These 5 minutes of nothing give your brain time to process what you just did and prepare for what's next. This is how you sustain peak performance all day instead of burning out by noon. If something takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. But, and this is critical, not during your 90-minute blocks. During your blocks, nothing interrupts you, not even a 30-second text reply. The 2-minute rule applies to the rest of your day after your 3 blocks are done. Someone texts you and it takes 2 minutes to reply, do it now. Quick email response, handle it immediately. Why? Because the mental overhead of tracking small tasks costs more energy than just doing them. Everything else that doesn't fit the 2-minute rule goes on your maintenance menu. Your maintenance menu is a separate list for everything that needs to get done but isn't one of your big 3. Emails to write, errands to run, calls to make, admin tasks. None of this is urgent, none of it moves the needle, but it still needs to happen. After your triple block system ends, around 1:30 or 2 p.m., you batch process your maintenance menu using regular 25-minute Pomodoros. Keep a running list throughout the day. Anytime something pops up that's not one of your big 3, write it on the menu. Forget about it. Keep working. Then after your blocks are done, group similar tasks together. All your calls at once, all your emails at once, set a timer, work fast, move on. This is how you handle all the necessary but not important work without letting it steal your peak hours. Let's recap what happens when you implement the system. You identify your 3 most important tasks the night before. You wake up and immediately start block 1 during your peak cognitive hours. No delays, no warm-up, just execution. 90 minutes later, task 1 is done. 20-minute break, block 2, task 2 complete. Another break, block 3. Task 3 finished. By 1:30 or 2 p.m., your 3 poker chips are on the right side of your desk. You've accomplished more in those few hours than most people accomplish all week. The rest of your day, maintenance tasks, meetings, whatever else needs handling. But your most important work, the work that actually changes your trajectory, is already done. This is what unfair advantage looks like. Not working more hours, not having special gifts, just protecting your peak energy and using it with surgical precision. Tomorrow morning, you have a choice. You can wake up and check your phone, scroll through social media, ease into your day, respond to everyone else's needs, work all day on everything and nothing, collapse exhausted with your important work still undone. Or you can implement the system. 3 tasks, 3 blocks, complete focus during your peak hours, finish by early afternoon with your most important work complete. Same 24 hours, completely different results. The system is simple, implementation is hard, but the people achieving what seems impossible to everyone else, they're not special. They're just playing a different game. Now you know the rules. The question is, will you play? If this video gave you a new perspective on productivity, hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Drop a comment telling me which play you're implementing first. Your future self is counting on decisions you make right now. Make them count.